everyone, it's Mary and welcome back to my channel. It is day 24 of Vlogmas. I can't believe we made it this far, only one more day of Vlogmas to go. I am batch recording both videos because I definitely do not plan on recording videos on Christmas Day. I'll be spending that day with my family. But if you do decide to watch my video on the 25th, it will be a Christmas themed video to go with the holiday. So I'm excited and yay. Today, we're going to talk about my 2022 channel goals. And I originally was going to try to do a wrap up of my 2021 goals and then talk about the 2022 goals. But I decided to wait. I'm going to do a wrap up of my 2021 goals after the first of the year. The reason why is because I had originally planned on the last couple weeks of December just being rereading some favorites or some old favorites and just kind of relaxing and reading books that I really love. But I've found quite a few new books that I haven't read yet that I'm really interested in, so I've been reading new books. So I didn't want to do like a wrap-up video when I don't have all my books read for the year, because my amount of books I read and some of the statistics that I'm going to go over may change in the next week or so as I'm reading new books. So I'm just going to do a wrap-up for you guys after the first of the year. But today we're going to go ahead and talk about what are my goals for 2022. It's going to be channel goals, reading goals, just goals in general. So, starting off strong, I'm going to keep my reading goal of reading 100 books a year. Now, I surpassed that goal by quite a lot, actually, for this year, but I would like to still keep 2022 at 100 books. The reason why is because if you guys have been following my channel for a while, I had a couple of months there where life was life and life was busy, and I maybe only read a couple books for that month. I think in February when I was moving, I read maybe 5 books, and similar story for like March. I didn't read a lot, but then on months when life was a little bit more or less stressful and I had time off, I had one month where I read 30 books. So, I mean, I went from like 5 books per month to 30 books per month. And it really just kind of depends on like what's happening with life, what's happening with this house, what's happening with work, you know, you never know. So rather than stress myself out by coming up with a goal that's going to be unattainable, I'm just going to leave it at 100 books. And obviously if I end next year and I've surpassed 100 books by quite a bit, like I did this year, then maybe I will up my goal. But I think that I'm going to be realistic and stick with 100 books for the year. My second reading goal is that I would like to try to get more into historical romance and paranormal romance. I loved historical and paranormal when I first started reading romance. If you talked to me a decade ago, like early 2010s, I would have talked to your ear off about all the paranormal and historical romance authors out there. That was what I read. I hated contemporary at the time. And over the last few years, I would say recently, the last 3 to 5 years, I've gotten very heavily into contemporary romance. And then in the last year, I'm obsessed with mafia romance. I don't think that obsession is going to end anytime soon. I love a bad boy, and that's why I like reading those books. But I would like to try to give more paranormal and historical authors a chance, because I've kind of gotten out of the loop on what's actually popular. Like if you asked me to recommend a paranormal romance author to you that's popular right now, I really couldn't tell you because I don't read a lot of the most recent releases. So I would like to get back into those and to read outside of just the contemporary mafia and like office romance type thing that I've had going for the last year. I would also like to read a little bit more like Christian fiction and clean romance, because I do think that I kind of wrote those off as not being as good, but maybe I'm wrong, because I've heard that the publishing world has changed quite a bit, and there's a lot of indie published authors that are Christian romance authors, so I would like to check some of those out as well and give those a chance. And my last reading goal for the year is that I would like to read some more debut authors. So I made a goal last year that I wanted to talk about more self-published, indie-published authors, and I still want that to be the case for next year, but I really would like to focus on brand new authors. So who is a romance author that has a debut novel? This is their first time coming out with a book, and they are excited. I want to be a person who reads some of these newer authors and gives them a chance. So if you happen to be a new author who has a romance novel coming out next year, or if you know someone who is, let me know so that I can get their book when it comes out. I really want to be a supporter of new and up-and-coming authors. I do think that here on BookTube we tend to read the same authors and a lot of the same books. So you can watch 3 people's videos and we're recommending the same books, especially if a certain book comes out. Like right now, everyone's going to be talking about By Sunrise Part 2 by Cora Riley, because that book just came out. But it shouldn't be that way, right? Like, it's okay that we read the same things, but we should also be reading new things or old things that are newly just rediscovered kind of things. And so I would like to try to help with that by helping some newer authors or some up and coming authors by giving more publicity and more, views to their books to help them out. As far as channel goals go, I don't really like to get stuck on numbers and statistics when it comes to this channel, because I feel like BookTube is so, I don't want to say competitive. It's not really that it's competitive. It's that everybody has their own taste. Everybody has certain people they just like to watch more than others. So I don't really like to be competitive in that way. But as far as like how many subscribers, I don't usually make a goal to grow subscribers for a year, because I feel like subscribers just come with good content. But a couple things I would really like to work on just in growing my channel and growing the community of BookTube is I would like to be better about actually commenting on people's videos. I have a tendency to watch your video and give you a thumbs up, but I don't always leave a meaningful comment on your channel, which I feel like is really sad, because, and I know people do this to me all the time, like I'll talk to people and they've watched my videos, but they don't comment, and I'm guilty of it too, because a lot of times I'll put on my YouTube playlist while I'm doing other things, and then I don't remember to go back and comment, or I remember and I'm like, whoa, crap, what did they talk about? I don't know what to comment on. So I need to be more mindful about going back and letting you know, hey, I watched your video, here's a comment about what you talked about, so that you know I'm engaging with you, because I'm really guilty of not doing that, and I feel terrible because I know I have people who are like, you're not watching me, but I am watching you, I just don't say hi. So I would like to intentionally be a person who communicates more with other people on BookTube by leaving comments. I want to continue going to the BookTube newbie tags and welcoming people to BookTube. That's something I want to do. And another thing I would really like to do is I would like to grow my subscriber count next year. I really did not make it a focus, but I would like to grow my subscriber count. It would be nice to at least break a couple hundred. I've been doing this now for only a year, and I don't think being at where I'm at now, I think at the time of recording this, I'm like in the 170s somewhere, 172, 173, something like that. Considering I've only been on BookTube for a year, I think that's pretty steady growth. I've grown almost 100 subscribers in a year, because I started off with a few subscribers because I had the cancer channel before this, so that's pretty steady. It would be nice to break 200 next year at some point, but again, I don't really get too wrapped up in subscriber counts, because I'm more concerned about, like, are people talking to me? Are we conversing? Are we having a conversation about books together? And that's really my focus. And then kind of on the same thing, another goal I have is to be more active on Instagram. I have a Twitter I can take or leave, but I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok. I had to think what it was called. I was going to call it a book talk, but TikTok. I would like to post more on those, get more involved in those communities. Not necessarily like as strongly as I am here on YouTube, but that's how you get. There's a lot of like new books and new authors that are really coming out on Instagram or Twitter or Bookstagram that I miss because I'm not on those platforms as much. So that would be a great way for me to expand some of my authors I read and some of the books I read, and to get new books to add to my list. Again, most of the books I read, I get my TBR list from you other booktubers, and since we read a lot of the same authors, sometimes it's, it'd be nice to have other people to get opinions from, right? And then the last thing that I would like to get more involved with in my channel next year is I would like to collaborate more with other booktubers. I am very shy by nature. I don't really have like booktube friends, like some people are friends on here because they've joined at the same time, they comment on each other's videos, that sort of thing. They do like read-alongs together, and they have like reading groups that they host live shows for and all of that. I typically don't get involved in that because I don't talk to y'all, and I don't really get involved in a lot of those kind of collaboration videos, but I would really like to do that. I am a very shy person by nature. So that's why I don't put myself out there, but it's like, you're not going to get friends and really, become a part of the community fully unless you're communicating. So that's another step in communicating, is I'd like to collaborate with you guys more. And as people are doing readathons, or like people do different bingo type things every year, and I'd like to kind of interact and be a part of some of those. I think that would be fun to do, just as an opportunity to get to know all of you better and for you to get to know me better. So if you have a booktube channel and you would like to collaborate on something, let me know. Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other. That's the fun of BookTube. And then the last thing I would like to do on my channel is I would like to focus on more authors by themselves. So rather than just reading a bunch of books in a recap video and giving you my reviews, I'd like to do some of these where it's like all my reviews of Cora Riley's books, or maybe all my reviews. I already did a video like that, but I'm using it as an example. All of my thoughts on Colleen Hoover's books, all my thoughts on, I don't know, Serena Ackroyd, name your author, and I would like to really focus on videos that are really geared towards an author to give them a little bit more of a push in whatever way I can, and to help support them in their writing. So those are all of my 2022 goals for this channel. I have a lot of them, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. I think really to sum it up, it is to communicate more and expand my reading more. That's really my focus for 2022. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with a Christmas video, and then after that, I am not recording anything until after the first of the year. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.